Okay, we are here finally, I think. Thank everybody for putting up with this. We're doing a little bit of testing and some things like that. So I want to welcome everybody to the new weekly Rewind Report. Tonight we're doing a special thing with the We Make events. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. I'm going to try to get all the chats up so that I'm able to see the chats. Here in just a second, I can see YouTube. And if I can get the Restream chat up and going. So that if you are on another thing. Okay, so we're all up. So no matter where you're at, I'm able to see the chat tonight. So feel free. If you have any questions, shout it out. I'm going to be watching it on everywhere I can watch it. So there we go. So hello to Brent. Hello to Trevor. Whoever else is in there, I saw John come in. Thank you, John, again for all your support. And both Johns, John that watches all the stuff and then John Young that sets everything up. Oh, we got someone watching from Moscow. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. Appreciate that. From Michigan. So awesome you guys are here. I'll be talking about the red here in a minute. That sort of thing. Just kind of getting a hello, make sure everyone can hear me, make sure everything's good. I'm trying to keep an eye on all the different chats and all that kind of crazy stuff. There's a lot going on right now. I lost my chat because I got so many windows open. We can shut you down. We can find the chat again, wherever the chat went. All the chat's down here, that's why. Cool. So, what's going on? Did I lose that already? I believe I did lose that already. 1 second. I'm going to need to open up the chat app again. Somehow it all shut down. So there we go. Thank you guys again for tuning in. As you see, we are in... oh, Scrappa from Down Under. It's a weird thing about the fact that how many DJs I only know by their DJ name. Day and Night DJ from Central PA, what's going on? Daniel from Nashville, what's going on? I was just looking the other day that July was the 3rd anniversary of the full solar eclipse that we had in 2017, and I drove down to Nashville to see it and hung out with a bunch of friends. I have a lot of friends that live down there. I almost moved down there once, so hello. Hello to everybody. So cool, we got a nice little chat room going on. I appreciate this. Some people watching on Facebook, some people watching on YouTube, everything. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat tonight. For those of you who don't know, so I'm going to just jump into this so we don't go, because I'm already starting late tonight, is that, number one, music and mixing is now going to be every single Wednesday night. It is going to be a half an hour. Tonight we might go a little bit more simply because I have a lot going on. But we're going to try to keep it into a half an hour so people can jump in and out and check out things like that and ask questions. Tonight's supposed to be an open question night, but we are dealing with a hashtag that popped up yesterday. Not dealing with, but we want to talk about a hashtag that popped up yesterday that I didn't get a chance to do stuff with yesterday, so I decided to make both my shows today, my remix show that I did prior to this and this live show about the We Make Events hashtag. And for those of you who don't know, We Make Events is basically a movement that's going on, and I'm going to read some of it from the webpage, so please forgive me for reading. But I want to say hello to everybody who's coming in there from California, Montreal. So we've got 4 countries and all kinds of different time zones. You guys make me feel so special tuning in. You guys are so freaking awesome. So basically, I'm going to read from the event. Basically, We Make Events is looking at the fact that pretty much the entire entertainment industry, whether you're in front, behind the stage, or on the stage, our lives have stopped employment-wise. We have no hope of income. I always say we were the first ones out the door when COVID started, and we will be the last ones back in. But this whole movement basically takes a look at, and I think their numbers are a little bit shy. I really think the numbers are bigger than this because I'm not sure who all they keep in the numbers, but they're looking at live event employees out of work are over 12 million people, which I think is probably more than that because I don't know if they've really taken a look at DJs in with that. I don't know if they talked with people who do set up, that are sound people who just set up for different businesses, stuff like that, who put in sound and lighting for businesses. I don't know if any of that's created in there. They're saying that the live events people contribute over to $1 trillion annual dollars in just the U.S. economy. 95% of all live events have been canceled. 96% of companies that have staff have cut their staff or their wages. And I can honestly say that because I was talking to John Young a while back about some of this, and some of the companies that we deal with on a regular basis when it comes to the brand names and different things like that have literally let go 30 to 40% of all their employees. So these are all the brands that you use, that you know, lighting and DJing and sound and everything, all of those, because of COVID, have let 30 to 40% of their employees go. So this is all part of that. 77% of all the people in the live event industry has lost 100% of their income. So there's a lot going on there. So basically what they did is they did a day, September 1st. Like I said, I missed it yesterday, so that's why we're all in the red. But everybody, different businesses, would light their business up in red, or the companies did things, or you could put a red square on your webpage, but basically bringing attention to the fact that we are out of work, and it's to support us and bring attention to the fact that it's called the Red Alert Restart is another hashtag. Well, basically to see if we can get ourselves back to work somehow. I've heard so many DJs that have basically quit because they can't do anything else. Not that they can't do anything else, but their jobs and stuff, that whatever they've tried to grab just aren't there. So there's a lot that stopped. So I want to talk to you guys. Like I said, it's supposed to be half hour, but like I said, we're going to see what we can go tonight and just see what's going on. I want to see everybody that's in there. I'm trying to see all of the chat. The chats are just firing through there, so that's so freaking awesome. Let me know what your thoughts are on all this. On the fact that we are so unemployed right now. I've taken this time and I've put out a buttload of videos about how to make this time more a better time for you. And I've kind of taken it to where I've talked about this in some of my videos before, where I'm no longer trying to think like a DJ. I'm trying to think like an entrepreneur. So I have a lot of other projects behind the scenes while I have a time off that I'm trying to generate. And I'm like twice or 3 times as busy as I normally am just with these projects, pardon me, because I'm trying to get so much started with all this. I'm trying to do other things, and I have some more stuff coming up. The DJ classes are still going on. If you're interested, get in touch with me. I'm going to be starting a group class soon to where you'll be able to jump in for a very small amount of money as opposed to paying the full hourly rate. You can drop in for, my goal is that you can drop in for less than $10. $10 or less, and jump in the group classes, that sort of thing. I'm going to probably bring back MJ shirts if anybody's looking for them. Just a lot of little things like that I'm trying to work on. A lot of more written stuff, more videos. Just any way I can generate stuff in the business, and also so that when I go back out to work, that I also am ready to go there. So that's why I like to do a lot of the streaming stuff like I did prior to this show. I did a DJ streaming set, and I try to do at least one a week, if not 2, because when I get back out there, like I said, for my part of the industry where I'm a mixed DJ, my skills and abilities of mixing are what gets me my job. So it's not how many lights I have or how the speakers I have or how well I talk on the microphone. It's mixing ability. So if I don't keep that up, and if I don't keep downloading the songs and keep my library up to date, that's really going to hurt me in my business. So I'm really trying to do a lot of things that I can do that way to stay up on it the best that I can. So let's talk about a little bit in the chat what you guys think about all this. I can answer other questions. It doesn't have to be about this, but I just wanted to kind of use tonight's show to show a little bit of this going on so that you guys know about that. And just honestly get your opinion on stuff. Like I said, I'm looking at the chat from both Facebook and YouTube. So hit me up if you have any questions or stuff you want answered tonight. We've got a nice little group watching. I appreciate it. I was supposed to be doing a broadcast over on mine tonight, but there was the program that I'm using. I was having trouble getting to this page. If you're watching it on Disc Jockey News' YouTube page, that's the one I couldn't get to from mine. So I switched over. So we still don't have this broadcasting on my Facebook page or my YouTube page, and that's the goal, that maybe in the future that we can maybe do a simulcast on that somehow. I'm trying to figure out how to do all that. So feel free, hit me up questions. I'm watching the chat. I love how you guys are all kind of saying hello from all over the place. Appreciate that. What record pools are you a member of right now? I don't like to talk about that. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't. So, because if we were talking one-on-one, I'd tell you all about them, but I don't want to talk about, because some of them are ones I can talk about and other ones I cannot talk about. So basically, I belong to a lot of them. Since this breaks off, I've been trying out. So like 1 month, I would try a whole new one out for just 1 month to see what they had. And then the next month, try another one out for a month and see what they have. And I've been doing a lot of testing like that to see what's out there. So I really don't want to get into that. Like I said, just because it's a different thing. Because some people look at certain download services as only these ones and these ones and these ones are legal. Everybody else is illegal. And I kind of look at it as in, I will go to the legal if the legal has what I want. But if the legal doesn't give me my mixes, the mixes that I want, the remixes, all that kind of stuff, the legal is useless to me. So I have to go to places to kind of see, to get what I want. And not all of those are legal, quote unquote, as in the business. So that's why I don't like to really talk about that. Dave Wolf said, DJing is his part-time fun job. I feel bad for the DJs, brothers, and my phone is blowing up here. I got to shut that off. Sorry about that. I don't want it to ding. So it's on silent now. For just information-wise, that basically only 10% of DJs are full-time DJs. According to Digital DJ Tips survey they do each year, they ask how many DJs make 75 to 100% of their money from DJing, and only 10% say that they do that. There's lots of you out there that might even say, I'm a full-time DJ, but half your income may come from a spouse. So unless 75 or 100% of your home's income comes from DJing, you're still a part-time DJ. I know guys who are DJs but do sound or lighting part-time, and that where it takes away from 100% of their income coming from DJing. A portion of that, maybe 50%, comes from lighting and sound. That's the way you got to look at it. You might still be in the industry, but DJ-wise, there's very few of us who are full-time DJs like me. Like, I make 100% of my money from DJing, and that's all there is to it. So I would say 100, probably 95, because I do some DJ classes and stuff. So, but yeah. Got a question in there about mixing. If you take my DJ classes, I'm going to preface this with the DJ class information that I teach about 30 different ways to transition two songs. And a lot of those transitions can be mixed 2 or 3 together. So like you drop it on the ones to stop and start, but if you scratch and drop it on the one, there's mixing 2 different styles in there. So he's asking, do you fade in or do you go straight full volume? I'm mixing, so I'm blending, I'm scratching, I'm echoing, I'm backspinning, I'm using the stem system that's in virtual, all these things to come in. So a volume to me really isn't anything, mainly because Virtual DJ's volume has an auto gain and remember, so I never have to worry about the volume. So as I'm DJing, let's see if I can show you here. I don't know if the camera's working. Yeah, the camera's working. So let's say I'm mixing this side here. 100% of the time, that volume is all the way up, okay? Virtual DJ is taking care of the gain. I don't have to worry about it because it's normalized everything. I don't touch my gains on either channel ever. So if I'm mixing in 90% of the time, the bass is going to be down. I'm mixing in 5, 6, 7, 8, switch it out, 5, 6, 7, echo out or fade out or backspin out or something out. So all night long, my volumes are never anything but 100% because the program is doing the rest of the work to make everything match. So I hope that made sense there. In my mind, I'm a full-time DJ that moonlight. You got to do what you got to do to make money. It's not about being proud of being full-time or part-time. There may come a point where I have to then have a day job. And in a lot of my life, I've worked day jobs. I've worked some really, really, really good paying day jobs in the past, but they made me miserable. So that's why I've channeled my life to be as much on this career as I can. I've got myself completely out of debt so that I can live off of this sort of lifestyle. So it's not easy to do, but I hope that helps. But like I said, stay strong with where you're at. If you have to take another job for a while, take it. If you love DJing and you want to stay in it and you have to take something else until you get back up and going, do that because it at least gives you that option to go back to something you love instead of just walking away from it and then maybe 3 years down the road trying to pick it back up again. I've seen guys walk away for like 7 years and it's really, really hard to get back into that. It's a difficult thing to get back in after you're out. So if you want to stay in the business, whatever level you do, try to stay in it somehow. Keep working, keep downloading songs. I had a friend of mine a while back said he got hired to do this party, and he hadn't downloaded any songs for a long time. And he's like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to download all these songs. And I'm like, why weren't you downloading all along? Oh, because I didn't have any gigs. And, well, that doesn't mean you should stop downloading, because if you get one, you don't have to scramble like you are. And he did have to scramble pretty bad. I mean, he was panicking to get new songs. But basically, stay up on all that kind of stuff. Like I said, get yourself to the point that if you get a call, you have the least amount of work you have to do to be able to walk into that with the same foundation you did prior to all this going on. So, yeah, other people taking part-time jobs, watching their Gus and different people talking. You got to do what you got to do, and trust me, you are not the only one that is taking that extra job. So don't think of it as you're failing or anything like that. You're doing what you have to do. We may all have to be there if we don't get back to some sort of out in the open soon, because, like I said, things can get ugly quick, and if this continues on for so many more months, because a lot of people who are in the wedding industry, they're heading into their slow season, and it's like they're heading into their slow season, and if in their slow season things get back to normal and they're able to do events, they're not going to have as many events over the winter time. I mean, they're probably going to get Christmas parties and corporate events and a few other things, stuff like that, but for a lot of them, they're heading into their slow season. So if they get released to be able to work, they're starting up in their slow season. So I cannot show you how to map two different. Someone in the chat asked, can you show how to map two effects into the same button? I can kind of show you, but I can't show you. I will do my best. Give me a second here to switch over to virtual. Then I'm going to share that screen. And I don't know if I have a zoom. A left screen zoom. I might not, so please be patient. That's a left screen there. I'm trying to see what different settings I have that I'm able to zoom in on there. This might do it, so hold on. All right, so we are closed in there. I don't know if it's going to let me show them. Nope, it's not going to let me show that. So I can't show you that unless I can go here and do that. Hold on a second here. Because there is a way to do that, and I got to go here, and I got to go here, and then I got to go here, and then here, and you still can't see the pop-up. For some reason, this thing will not grab the pop-up, and I don't know why it won't do that. Let me see if I can grab another one there. Don't know. Yeah, there that goes, maybe. Nope, still not letting me grab that. So I can't show you because this system I'm on today will not let me grab the secondary menus for virtual. So basically, what I'm going to tell you is that if you go in there to the programs, and you can highlight. You'll have to do it in the MIDI mapping. So you're going to go into the MIDI mapping, and that is the option, not the options, but the mapping section of virtual. And I'm going to try to find the one that I did, which is FX on 1. And I will read you what I wrote, and that's the best I can help you right now. So I have two effects triggered by my FX on 1. So let me change this right here. 1 second here. All right, so this, when I trigger this right here, right deck is one program for the right deck, one program for the left deck. When I trigger this here, it is not like virtual is normally set up to where you choose an effect and apply effect to them. I have set into the mapping of those buttons that this is always going, these all three are always going to be one thing only. So I never have to worry about, is that effect right? If I have the right one set for there, it doesn't matter what I put on there. When I press that button, it's always going to be that effect. That button's always going to be that effect, and that button's going to be that effect. So this one, because I wanted an echo, for an echo out, a post-fader echo. So that means that the song is playing, and I pull it down, the song stops, but the echo keeps going. So it's all post-fader. and I put an echo, but I wanted the echo to be a little bit different, so I put a flange in there also. So by typing in on this button in the mapping section of virtual, it is effects underscore active, and then single quote, not double quote, single quote, flange, single quote, the ampersand sign or the and sign, and then the same thing again, effect underscore active, single quote, echo, single quote. So you're putting the two of those together the same way you would command it to do active effect or active whatever, but you're putting the and sign, space, and sign, space in between them. And that's kind of the best way I can explain that without showing it to you. I apologize that I'm not able to do that. For some reason on this system, when I'm over on the studio computer, I can share the smaller menus, but on this system, when I click on virtual and then click up a menu, a secondary menu, this does not grab, the broadcast does not grab that secondary menu. So let's see what we have here. Brent said about saving money. Absolutely, 100%. You have to be prepared for bad times. You know, let's say you could even fall down and break a leg. You've got to be able to do your best. I wasn't. This was an odd one for everybody, so it really threw everybody off. Yeah, someone was saying that their business offered him a severance package to and they were going to make DJing their full time, and then the DJing tanked. Again, if you can hang out until this kind of passes, you will have a chance to get back into the business. I believe it's going to happen. You just have to be patient, but get 100% ready as you can, and be ready. So when that, like, don't be like my friend who, like I said, got a gig, a paying gig, a very well paying gig, and just wasn't ready. So just make sure you're ready so that when you get that call, you can walk out the door. And that includes if it is a partial attendance kind of thing, that there are special requirements to do these events, distancing, masks, anything that you have to do to make that event happen. Be prepared ahead of time. Check the rules, check the regulations. Make sure you're that guy that can go, yes, I can do this today. I have all the stuff in order for the distancing, the special stuff for covering microphones if people are talking on the microphones, all of that stuff. Make sure you have all of that. Yeah, John's saying about where he's at up in Boston, that they're 25 or less. Ours right now is really weird in Pennsylvania, is because you can go to a restaurant, and this is the dumbest thing. You can go to a restaurant. There's limited what they're allowed in there, very limited, or a lot of them are doing outside seating, but you can't buy alcohol unless you buy food. So if you DJ at a place that doesn't sell food, they can't be open at all. But if a place does sell food, they can open up. You can sit down, so many in a group, distancing apart, and you can order alcohol. But if you just walk in and want a beer or something, that is not happening right now, and that's what's kind of killed everything here. Someone's saying the Midwest weddings have opened up. That's good. That's good that you have that. I'm glad to see at least some areas are moving that day. Keep us informed of how things are going and any special requirements that you're seeing out there. Don't be afraid to share with other people what you've done to help prepare, for other people that maybe not in your market, that you could help them too. I'm reading some of the chat here. Hold on. Someone's asking about playlists. They're talking, basically, I'm going to read what he has here. It says, I have almost 15 playlists for the same couple first dance. And I'm not sure how you could have 15 playlists, let alone 15 songs for the first dance. Oh, for the first dance, cake, etc. It takes up a whole lot of space. I see 15 playlists. How can I put all of those into one folder so when I open it up one folder, all of these other folders, subfolders, versus virtual folders. Like all of the folder, if you're using Virtual DJ, all of the folders can be subfolder. So you can have folder on folder on folder on folder and just drop down, drop down. I don't know if I have any here I can show you. Let me see if I can go back to virtual and share. So I can do that there, and we're going to go over here, and you will see stuff that, like let's do the 2010s, and then the 2010s have subfolders. Then inside those, they have subfolders. different things like that. So you can go subfolder after subfolder after subfolder if you want. I can imagine having that much stuff for a wedding. And again, it's why I don't like to do weddings, because it becomes really crazy trying to do all that. But you can, every folder, whether it's an actual folder in virtual, or you create a virtual folder or a playlist, however you want to name them, crate, doesn't matter, whatever you want to name them, they all do nearly the same thing, but you can put folder versus folder versus folder. So if you have a physical folder that has 5 folders in it, you can then favorite that folder, and it will put that folder down there as a favorite, showing the physical folder and the folders that are inside that physical folder. And I hope that kind of answers your question there. Wow. So in Georgia, he said that he had 130 guests, no mask required except for food staff. Wow. That's the other thing here in Pennsylvania, that we can't do any sort of, everything has to be plated meals. There are no buffets, like in Pennsylvania for weddings, there are things called a cookie table, for those you don't know. And it was an old tradition where people would donate cookies for the wedding, so people would have sweets at their wedding. And it's just become a part of Pennsylvania weddings, to where there's a table you can go up, and people who are friends of the bride and groom would just make cookies and donate them. And you go up to the table, get your cookies. It's kind of like a buffet of cookies. And any sort of buffet like that, anything cannot be done right now whatsoever. So that's good. If you have that, that's great. But yeah, we're not even close to that. There are mask ordinances for different things. Some people are following, some don't. I know that I pay attention to this city and pay attention to how many fines and different things they're putting out to the people, and they're putting stuff out a lot. So there's a lot of businesses getting hit with fines and different things. So if your area is not doing that, good for you. But if it is, pay attention, because, like I said, I know many, and I mean dozens of restaurants and bars and different things that got shut down. Like, they could open up to a small amount of people serving food, but because their staff didn't obey the mask rules or the distancing where they had them seating, they got shut down, like completely. There's one place that lost both its liquor and its food permit for a while. It got taken away for I don't know how long, but so you have to watch those. Yeah, the cookie table, like I said, look more into it, because I don't do weddings, so I don't know the whole history of it. But basically, it's just kind of a cute way for people to give to the wedding, and they just create this table of cookies that they make and come and donate. And the cookie table's decorated nicely, and it looks, like you've seen some weddings have the chocolate fountain or something like that. It's on that level of kind of like beautiful, all this stuff. But it's just something that when you come into the reception, you go up to the cookie table, grab a couple cookies, and you eat them while you're waiting for the meal, and that sort of thing. Or just throughout the night, just go up and snack on them. But like I said, because that is considered a buffet style thing, it's not allowed. So like I said, even if they do have a wedding, it has to be plate served food. Nobody can go, leave the table. That's the other thing. Day and Night's talking about what you get to take home. Oh gosh, yes. As a person, I don't do many weddings, but I used to help out a lot with ones and stuff. The stuff you get to take home from the cookie, that's because you're the last one packing up, and they're like, "Hey, somebody's got to take these cookies home." And of course, I'm going to say yes. So yeah. Oh, see, that would be a bad thing. Dave says the cookie table needs to be next to the DJ booth. That'd be dangerous for me. Because I have this thing where I don't like to eat while I'm DJing because of getting stuff on my fingers and stuff on the knobs. If that was sitting next to me, I would have crumbs all over this. I'd have to be vacuuming it up every 10 minutes. So yeah. We're getting close to the 30-minute mark. Like I said, we want to do the shows where it's 30 minutes, questions in and out, because we want to try to see if we can get some people who watch this on demand to join in, because a lot of people will join in a half-hour show a lot faster than they would join in an hour show. So that's what we're going to try to keep each week. It's going to be here each week. I'm going to try to have topics some weeks and open questions other weeks. So, like I said, give me ideas of stuff you want. I don't know if my mic is too hot there, but give me some ideas of topics you might want. Like I said, it's going to be every week now, 10 p.m. on Wednesday. We're going to try to, like I said, just kind of have fun with it and let this be a quick answer thing, the best of my ability. I can show mixing stuff nights here, but there's other nights that I am going to be set up on the studio computer where nothing's going to be there for mixing. But those are over there. So next week, I will be set up over there, okay? So the person who asked me the question about how to program 2 buttons, make sure you come back next week and make sure you ask me again, I will show you that on the other one because like I said, for some reason on this computer, the way it's set up, I can't show submenus through the broadcast software. Over there, I can capture the submenus and show the submenus. So there we go. Somebody's saying that they have a sweets table at their place, way better than a broccoli table. Yeah, I wouldn't. Nah, the broccoli table wouldn't be doing that much. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm trying to find a niche in the world for what I do. It's really odd sometimes in life when you don't, like I said, because the career that I've had, you gotta understand, I started off as a young person who drew constantly. I've had, drawings that have been in magazines and books and different things like that. And then I went further in life and started dancing and learned that I was a really good dancer. And in the early 90s, I actually did TV commercials for dancing and won boatload of dance competitions and danced for a company where we traveled around and did stuff. And then I thought that was a little two-dimensional, so I wanted to change that. And then I started working on music and doing vocal performing and did vocal performing while I was DJing all different nights. So I'd do a show where I'd be a vocal performer and then go DJ later at night. And through that, and then now the stuff I do on Disc Jockey News with the videos and some of the stuff that I write articles, and I'm currently working on a book that's going to be coming out hopefully next year. I don't know. It's writing a book takes a lot, and I really mean a lot, because it's just the amount of time I've spent on that book, and I'm not even close to anything yet. I'm about to the point where I'm going to start inviting a collaborator and an editor. So I'm not even that close. But like I said, throughout this whole life of stuff I've done, I'm trying to find my niche in this industry, and a lot of guys in this industry do a lot of things that are flashy and entertaining, and I don't know if I'm the entertainer guy. I'm more the information guy. I'm the guy, like when it comes to DJing, I am, because I love to DJ and I love to mix, and like I said, being still at my age, still in the clubs and stuff, bars, doing that, that shows something about a lot beyond just skill, work ethics, reliability, being able to read a crowd, being able to know my music, all that kind of stuff. So I'm still trying to find my niche. So through all this I'm doing at Disc Jockey News, that comes back to what Dave was saying, is he appreciate what I do here. Thank you for appreciating it, because like I said, I'm still trying to find my place in this world with all of this stuff as I age and all these things like that. I'm going to try to take up more questions. Like I said, I want to try to keep this half hour. We'll hit a couple more questions here. It says, all four channel faders, not the crossfader, replaceable on the M8000. They are replaceable, but some of them take a lot of work because you're going to have to pull out. I have replaced this fader. Sorry, I'm not sharing that. I think you guys can see everything that I see. I've replaced this on, like, I pretty much go through a fader every couple of years at most. It's like headphones. I get about 2 years out of a fader, about 2 years out of a headphone. When these start crackling, they are somewhat replaceable, but you got to understand, you have to pull all the knobs off, all of the screws, and then there are bolts and stuff on some of these that you have to pull, and then there's other bolts to pull underneath of that to get to these faders. They can be, but they are a pain in the butt. When I had problems, like right now I'm having problems with these buttons, and on, like I said, on my old one, I had a couple problems with a couple other buttons that aren't quite perfect, and I decided, tore it apart to look at it, and decided that I did not want to tackle replacing those buttons, so I sent it away. It cost me a couple $100 to get it done, but when it came back, it was brand new. So if that's a thing for you, and you can have a backup that you like, because the guy went out and bought, this was my backup, so the one that was repaired still in a box upstairs, so I have two of these matching now. So this one is going to have to go back and get these repaired eventually. That one will become my main one, but like I said, you can send them away and get them repaired, and that's kind of the best for me. It was the best option because I tore it apart, looked at it, and said, nope, I don't want to get into that. So kind of leave that for yourself there. Matt was asking a question there. I'm going to hit a couple more questions and I'm out of here. But Matt was asking a question about changing letter drives. I can show about that, but basically in Virtual DJ, if you go to the website and look at their downloads, there is a download there for he's talking about if you have one computer has a D drive and you have an E drive on another one and you want to make everything match, they do have a plug-in for Virtual that will change when you put the D drive over here, that you run the program, and it puts all of your database to E or whatever you set it to. So if you wanted E over here, the plug-in will go and make all that correct to match. So that is a plug-in from Virtual. It's free, and you can go and check that out there. Yeah, so, all right, so cool. That's an awesome question. Like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. if you like, please let me know. Contact me. Let me know if you like the half-hour idea, if you like the open questions, if you like the topics, whatever. Let me know what you want out of this show, and I'm going to try to tailor it for that. The rest of the stuff I do on Disc Jockey News are little 3-minute videos. Those are pretty simple and self-explanatory. When a program comes out or a new piece of hardware, stuff like that, I try to do videos on those, and that's pretty much self-explanatory for a 3-minute or less video, but these are a little different, and I kind of want to try to make this, and I forgot that you weren't looking at me. I want to try to make this, you're seeing my hands on the other camera, I apologize, but I want this to be for you guys to whatever you want, like I said, because I don't want to, this show isn't about being an entertainer and coming up here and getting all like, whoa, guys, I can't believe they did this, and talking smack on someone. That's not me. So I'm going to try to be educational, help you guys, informational, all that kind of stuff. And more importantly, beyond all of that, encourage you. Because this is a crazy world, and we have to be there for each other. We cannot act in a mindset of insulting each other. I don't care for what reason. If you're a backstabber in this business and you just want to see other DJs fail, no, don't do that. Don't be that person. Be there for other people. If you can't survive doing your job next to someone who can do the same job, and if you can't do it better than them, then that means you need to step up. So don't cut someone down just to see them fall. It's childish and just ignorant. So there's my soapbox. So treat each other nice. Treat each other like you want to be treated, and that's a pretty simple thing out there. Just get into a situation and go, if I was in this person's situation, would I want me yelling at them? And trust me, I've heard my own voice enough to say no. I would not want me yelling at someone. Shut up, Michael. Take a breath. Brain, quiet. and get into that. So I encourage you guys in all the stuff that you do. I appreciate that. Thank you, Robin, for all the stuff you do in the chat and helping out with moderating. And that is the hashtag she put in there, We Make Events. Feel free to keep using it, but it is about basically letting other people know that our jobs have stopped. Like I said, if you want to find out more about this whole thing, you can go to wemakeevents.org. Wemakeevents.org, and it explains a lot there and talks a lot about some other hashtags they have coming up for going back to work and stuff like that. So, again, thank you guys. You're freaking awesome, all of you. Again, hit me up with any ideas you have about the show, thoughts, anything. Do not hesitate to send me messages about this because this is your time. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you had a good time. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and more importantly, take care of each other because it is a crazy world out there. God bless.